its scope not to raise the questions for you, but the questions in you. We also rely on the innate ability to intuit, to know instinctively and empirically. We make judgments and assessments that include our gut and instinct. We hope to accomplish many goals, but we will start with our quest to rediscover our collective humanity as people of African descent, that is, from the past, the present, future of ourselves, and to confront and eradicate the fears, inhibitions, and shame associated with our denying ourselves an entire framework of truths.
We are here today at Afriware Books with Mr. Warren Northern, author of The 12-Step Recovery Guide for Men of African Ancestry, Spiritual Principles, Concepts, and Exercises, Mental, Emotional, Spiritual, Psychological, and Historical Maturity. Warren, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I went to school in Chicago. I've also been a member of the 12-Step program for more than 24 years. And as a result, I wrote this book because of the journey, my own personal journey through the world of recovery.
Why did you decide to write the 12-Step Recovery Guide for Men of African Ancestry?
Well, as a member of a 12-Step program, my own personal journey gave me insight into a level of experience from a cultural standpoint that changed my whole perspective about what 12-step programs really are. Looking back in the past, the 12-step programs were born out of that early therapeutic inner circle kind of discussion for men and women to help one another to heal from whatever maladies that they might have endured. Through my own personal journey, I found that there was nothing available for men of African ancestry to cope with some of the things. And it's not so much that we did, it's why we did.
You encourage community discussions using this book as a guide. Is it only for men?
Actually, no, it's not for men only. I encourage it for men because the title speaks to who we are as men. And in fact, it speaks to our degree of maturity that we should be after in terms of our development. But inside of the book, it's centered around family groups. It centers around our relationship with our environment, with our family, and so forth.
Why 12 steps?
That's a good question. 12-step programs is an approach or a journey on the inside of the individual, the person. It's not a journey that you share with the world or people around you. It's a personal journey that you take for yourself. In the book, there are metaphors, there are analogies, there are exercises that penetrate, that are poignant for the individual. And it's an inventory that you take that you don't have to share with the world. It's one for your own edification and clarity and self-awareness.
In your book, you say, dressing up the outside doesn't restore the inside. Will you elaborate on that?
Yes. One of the aspects of recovery, there are many ways to answer that question, but more importantly, most of us get kind of entangled or caught up in dressing up how we look and our outer appearance without looking at who we are and where we came from and how we got to be where we are, no matter where we are in our own personal life and development. And to that point, one of the things that we were trying to do is to normalize what the 12-step program really is. And I'll read this brief key that is what I call it. Perhaps the first and most ubiquitous narcotic on the planet is propaganda. When you look at what propaganda is, how it affects us, not only what it is, but where it is. But the last part of that says, no one is free from its influence, not even the dead or the unborn.
What would you like us to take away from reading your book?
I'd like us to take away the challenge of going through the metaphors, the aphorisms, the analogies, and even the puzzles, as well as the exercises that are in it, to take away a new self-awareness of ourselves as individuals and how do we apply that new self-awareness to a collective self-awareness. I'd like to see us evolve and mature as a people. That's the focus. We focus a great deal on what freedom is and what it's not, but we never focus a lot or enough on what I consider maturity. That's what I'd like us to take away.
Thank you once again for coming to Afriware Books to discuss the 12-step recovery guide for men of African ancestry.